where size of the row is previously the number of rows was fixed and size of each row was variable. Now we'll go for an array where number of rows are variable, but size of each row is fixed. Again, write down, number of rows are variable, but size of each row is fixed. Okay, so sometimes we would like to let me say what last day what we discussed. If I have a operator like star and bracket, which operator has higher precedence? Remember, bracket has higher precedence. So if I have a declaration statement in, let me say star of PTR, and then I write 10 over here, because bracket has higher precedence, we consider this as PTR of 10 and this is considered as in star. Is it understood? PTR will be associated with the bracket first because bracket has higher precedence. But if I want to associate PTR with star, not with the bracket, I want to associate PTR with star, not with the bracket, then I need to put an exclusive bracket over here. If I put a bracket here, now PTR is not initially associated with the bracket, this curly braces, sorry, the square bracket. Rather, PTR is now associated with the star or not. So to dissociate it from the bracket, I'll put another bracket here like this. Now look at this. If I have a declaration like this declaration says, does it have 1 pointer or 5 pointers? If I do not put the bracket, we have arrays of pointers. If I put the bracket over here, I have only 1 pointer, and where each pointer is pointing to how many elements? 5 element integers. Is it understood or not? So I have how many pointers here? 1 pointer, and that pointer is pointing to a single integer or 5 integers?
5.
Is it understood, Sanindya?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we have understood here, I declared a pointer variable and the pointer variable is pointing to 5. Suppose I would have declared it like this. Let me say another 10. Then also how many pointers? 1 pointer.
1 pointer.
Yes, very good, 1 pointer, Bharti. But the pointer is pointing to a one-dimensional array of 5 elements or a two-dimensional array of 5 rows and 10 columns?
2D array of 5,
2D array of size
5
rows
rows, 10
and
column.
10 columns.
5 rows, 10.
Understood? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
So if I have a declaration, again I'm telling, let's say I wrote in star of B and I put a bracket over here. After putting the bracket, if I'm writing here, let's say 3, what does it mean? B is a pointer pointing to how many integers?
3.
Very good. If I write down 3, then 5.
3 rows and 5 columns.
Then I'm writing, let's say 3 and 5 over here. Then how many pointers do I have? 1 or multiple pointers?
1
1
pointer.
pointer.
But that pointer is pointing to a matrix of size 3 cross
5.
Understood it or not? Understood? Very good. So, but if I open this bracket, suppose I'll not put this bracket here. Do you have 1 pointer or multiple pointers? Multiple pointers. How many pointers altogether we have?
15.
15. And each pointer is pointing to
1 element of
1 element integers. Understood it or not?
Yes.
If I put a bracket, I segregate it from the array. If I do not put this bracket, it becomes simply arrays of pointers. Yes or no? If I do not put this bracket, it will be treated as this bracket. If I do not put it as arrays of pointers. Suppose I will not write down this. So I have how many pointers right now? And each pointer is pointing to. Understood this declaration? Very good. With this understanding, let me proceed to solve a problem here. So I declare a pointer pointing to 5 integers. My array is a one-dimensional array or two-dimensional array?
1.
No, array A.
Acha, A is 2D.
Very good, Sanidhya, it's a 2D array. And what is the size of the array? It has how many rows?
4
And
rows,
each
5
row has
columns.
how many elements? All elements are of integer type. This much is understood to you all. Yes or no?
Yes.
Write down on your copy. Ampersand A is address of the whole array or the first row or the first element. My question here is ampersand A is address of the whole array, address of the first row or address of the first element. Copy में लिखेगी नहीं ampersand A. Ampersand A is always address of the whole array. Do remember this.
Yes.
Ampersand name of the array. Ampersand name of the array, I already told it to you, is address of the whole array. So ampersand A is address of 1D or 2D in this case? 2D.
2D.
Having 4 rows and 5 columns. Yes or no? My next question. A is equal to. A is address of first row. It's a two-dimensional array. If ampersand A is a two-dimensional array, if I put a star over here, it will convert the address from 2D to 1D or not? And star of ampersand is address of 1D, and star of ampersand A is nothing but A. Yes or no? Each star can cancel each ampersand, one ampersand. So in that case, A is address of the whole array or the first row. Write down this. Write down this.
Array.
Yes. Write down this. A is address of the first row. What is the address of the next row? Oh, very good.
A of 1.
Yes.
A of
If
plus
A
1.
is address of the whole row, first row, what is address of the first element? Anyone? Oh, very
Star
good.
A plus 1.
Now, star A is address of the first element. Yes or no?
Yes.
Zeroth element. Sanidhya understood? Bharti?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you have understood this, I have a question right now. P is a pointer. Yes or no? PTR is a pointer. PTR is a pointer. Can I write down this as ampersand A? If no, why no? PTR is asking for what? Address of what? Human being, elephant, tiger, or address of 5 integers? PTR is asking for address of? Have you remember this? Ampersand is address of 5 integer or a two-dimensional array? Is it acceptable?
2D array.
You ask for one cup of tea, somebody has given a kettle of tea. Will you accept it? No. Now, if I remove this, A becomes address of one element or one row. And
One
that
row.
row has how many elements?
5.
And PTR was asking for address to how many integers?
1.
Right hand side is also giving address to 5 integer.
Yes.
Is it accepted? Yes or no? You made an order for 5 cup of tea and you got 5 cup of tea. Yes or no? However, again for the small questions, can I write down this as star A? No, because in the left hand side you have order for how many cup of tea? But in the right hand side you are supplying only? उसी को क्या divide करके पियोगे क्या? होगा क्या? So PTR should be assigned to A, star A or ampersand A?
A.
Very good, very good. Once you have understood this, let's say we did it like this. Look at this. PTR ampersand is not accepted. Region is best known to you. Then I wrote PTR assigns to A. Once I write PTR assigns to A, I have few more questions. Try to answer those questions. The first question is, suppose I would like to access these elements. How can I access this using this element? Anyone? A of?
A plus 3. You have 0 plus 3. Yes, sir.
A03. Is it understood to everyone? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I
sir.
wrote, do remember, I wrote P assigns to PTR assigns to A. PTR is address variable or address constant?
Address variable.
Variable.
Very good, address variable. But A, name of an array is address variable or constant?
Constant.
It's a constant.
Constant.
And
Can I replace the constant by its equivalent variable?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
A constant
Yes,
can be
sir.
replaced by its equivalent variable. I told this statement earlier or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You told.
Then can I write down this as PTR 03?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Can
Yes,
write.
sir.
So elements of a two-dimensional array can be accessed the way we access using array bracket operator, provided the pointer is pointing to address of one element or address of a row.
Address of row.
Understood this? Yes or no?
Yes,
If it is
sir.
pointed to address of a
Yes,
row,
sir.
I can use the pointer and bracket operator to access every element the way I access elements of a two-dimensional array. One more question before I go. How do I access this element? Can anyone say what is this element using a of
2, 3.
2, 3.
2 bracket 3 or 2, 3, whatever you say? Is it correct?
2 bracket 3, sir. Yes.
Yes.
sir.
ये समझ में आया कि नहीं? थोड़ा बोलो, हाँ तो बोलो.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you
Yes,
have
sir.
understood this, can I write down access the same element by writing PTR bracket 2 bracket 3? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Sir.
I am convinced because a constant can be replaced by its equivalent variable. And
Variable.
if you look at PTR and A, PTR is a variable, A is a constant. So wherever I write A, I can very much replace it by PTR, but PTR may not be replaced by A sometimes. Understood to this? So every element of this array, any elements or every element of the array can be accessed using PTR variable and bracket operator. Is it understood, everyone? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
You all know how to access it using star operator. Very good if you have understood this. Next question. So A00 is same as PTR00, A23 is same as PTR23, A34 is same as PTR34. But do remember, pointer should be pointing to address of a row. ये आया समझ में? Now let's try to solve these questions. Let me read out the question. Write a program to add elements present in every row of a matrix. I have a matrix of size 4 cross 5. I have a matrix of size 4 cross 5. I would like to add elements present in a row and would like to store the sum in another one-dimensional array. If I'm doing the addition for 0th row, I will be storing in one-dimensional array in the index position 0. If I'm doing addition for row number 1, if I'm doing addition for row number 1 in the one-dimensional array, I will be storing it in index number 1.
One.
Understood it or not? Achha, can anyone say after doing the addition what should be the value of B of 0? This value
5.
5. Very good. What's the value of B of 3?
Sir,
10.
10.
10.
Oh, 10.
15.
B
15
of 3.
and 15 and
25.
20.
5.
This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Array B4 means size of the matrix array is 4 means indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3. The last index is 4 or 3?
3.
3. Oh, but initially I also make mistake over here because counting normally starts from 0. So what would be the value of B of 2?
10. A B of 2, 15.
15.
Yes, समझ में आया? So
Yes.
you have understood the problem. Are yes or no? Elements present in every row will be added and will be stored in another array in the index position. The problem has
sir.
been understood to all of you. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
One more thing. Every elements of the matrix or array would be accessed using pointer variables. That's my point of attraction in this question. We'll access all elements of A using a pointer variable. We'll be accessing all elements of B using a pointer variable. Understood? I could access this element by writing B of 0, B of 1, B of 2, B of 3. I can access all these elements from A of 0, 0, 0, 1 like this, but I'll access it using pointer variable. The question is understood? Or yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सौरभ आर्या समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा है?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me declare two pointer variable. Let me declare a pointer variable. Can anyone say how do I declare a pointer variable to access every elements of this matrix? Can you give the declaration statement?
We'll start a
Int, हाँ लिखो int.
Int.
आर्या पहले copy में लिखो, then read it. Write it in a copy, a pointer variable which can access all elements of this two-dimensional matrix. Declare a pointer variable which can access all elements of this two-dimensional
Sir,
matrix.
int star PTR bracket में 5.
Int star PTR, very nice. Then
Bracket then bracket में 5 and
bracket
PTR
में
also in
5.
bracket.
Very good, very good, very good. Correct answer, correct answer. Need not to worry. Look at this. Did I write it correctly?
Yes, sir.
Argya,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sanidhya,
Yes, sir.
समझ में आ रहा है? Why did he declare like this?
Yes, sir.
PA is a
Yes, sir.
PA is a single pointer or a group of pointers?
One single.
Single point.
And pointing to?
So five
A
elements.
and
Elements.
And PB is a single pointer or multiple pointers?
Single.
Single.
This pointer is pointing to group of element or one element?
One element.
One element.
Very good. This declaration is understood. Everyone tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Now, let me come to the memory picture. PA is an address to how many integer?
5.
PB is an address to how many integer?
1.
1. Up to this is understood? Sir, हाँ बोले से आगे बढ़े?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा, now look at this. I wrote PA assigns to A. What is ampersand A? Address of first row or the whole array?
Whole
Whole to
array.
the array.
Whole
So can I
array.
write down PA assigns to ampersand A? I wrote PA assigns to A. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Same way PB assigns to B. Is it understood?
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
After this, PA is pointing to the first element or first row?
First
First
row.
row.
PB is
First row.
pointing to all elements or first element?
First element.
First element.
Up to this, everyone is clear? Can anyone say, how can I access this element using PB? Can I write down this as PB of
2.
Yes.
yes or no? We have an alternative. We have an alternative. Can I write down this as PB plus 2 star?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Choice
sir.
is yours. Choice is yours.
Yes, sir.
Very good. I have another question. I have one more question. How can I access this element using PA? हाँ, पहले क्या लिखेंगे?
PA of 3, PA of 3, 3, 3,
3,
3.
3,
Hmm.
understood?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है? I can write down this as A of 3, 3. A of 3, 3. A can be replaced by PA or not?
Yes, sir.
Understood to this? Very good. If you have understood now, let's start the task. If I want to explain, let me have an explanation like this. How many
4
rows
rows.
I need to do the addition?
4
1 row or 4 rows? I want to repeat addition of a row. Yes or no? How many times?
4.
For 4 times I can write down for I varies from 0 less than for I plus plus.
Yes, sir.
And find out sum of the ith row or not. Sum of ith row. How can I access sum of the ith row? I'll go to individual elements or not. How many elements do I have?
5.
I will add 0th element, element number 1, index
Hmm.
number. Then element number, final
Three.
element number
Yes, sir.
4. Yes or no? I can take an initial counting value. Initial sum is 0 and let it be available in PB of 0. I initialize PB, all are 0. Intermediate sum. Initial the intermediate sums are 0. If I ask you to find out sum of 20 variables, you take a sum variable which is initialized to 0 or not. That way I took this initialized value as 0. Very good. Look at this. My I varies from 0 to 3 less than 4. I have a variable J. J will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 less than 5. BI assigns to BI previous sum plus A of IJ or not. I'm writing with respect to A and B. Then if I want to access it using pointer,
PB and PA we can replace.
PB equal to PBI plus PA of I plus I bracket
Yes.
J. Understood it? Yes or no? पहला वाला तो without pointer. Now I access it with the help of a pointer variable or not?
Yes.
समझ में आया? आगे बढ़े.
Yes.
Write a program to check how many positive numbers are there in index position of another array. Find out number of positive numbers present in each row. Number of positive numbers. Who are positive numbers? Gardan? Very good. They will be written over here. Okay? They will be written in another one-dimensional array in the corresponding positions. Take an array of, so
positive
bola,
number
yes.
present in each row,
Each
then
row will be written where? In another one-dimensional array. It will be written in another one-dimensional array. Answer लिखो. अब आपसे chat करो. ठीक है. So we'll write down 8 in this position. 0th row will be written in B of 0 position. Row number 1 will be written in B of 1. Row number 2 will be written in B of 2 like this. Question is understood? Similar question, not very difficult. Okay, but you will take the two-dimensional array size 4 cross 6. The size of the 2D array is 4 cross 6. Understood? Very good. But the most important part of this is we want to do it using a functions. We want to do it using a function. So if I use a function, how do I pass a two? I want to pass a one-dimensional array. Do I really pass all elements or address of one element?
Address of element.
And that's normally address of the first element.
First.
Yes or no? Now, if I want to supply address of one element, my formal parameters should be a address variable which will be accepting address of variable or value or not. My second parameter. When I pass address of a two-dimensional array, I can to access two brackets. The way we access it using two number of brackets. If I want to apply this, then my pointer variable should not be pointing to a single integer. My pointer variable should be pointing to
Row.
size of a row. If my row has 10 elements, my pointer variable should be pointing to one element
10
or 10
elements.
elements. Very good. If I have the row size is 20, my pointer variable should be pointing to
20.
size of a row of size 20.
20.
Understood it? Very good. With this understanding, I wrote a function. Look at this. My formal parameter PA. Formal parameter PA is addressed to how many integers?
5.
Understood it or not? And this formal parameter PB is addressed to,
1.
and from there I'll go on accessing. Now, if the formal parameters are there, we can access it. Look at it, very simple. Same way. I assigns to 0 less than this. PBI assigns to 0. I initialize this value to 0 first. I initialize this. Then I added for j varies from 0 to 5, PBI assigns to PBI plus this. Okay. So please do write a function for this and pass both the array 1D and 2D to the functions. First you write a program, then you write a functions, understood or not? And you pass the two-dimensional array and one-dimensional array to these functions. And display the results outside the functions. Display the results outside the function, means in the main. You will display the result in the main. Then next, इसको कैसे किया जाएगा? Look at this. I declared an array. What is the name of the array right now?
X and Y.
X 4 5. My array is no more A of 4 5. My name of the array is X 4 5, and my array name is Y 4, where I will be storing the value. Now I will assign. Can you assign value to this array X?
Yes. Sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand why do I take the elements as 1 1 1 2 2 2? क्यों लिया? कोई बोल सकते हैं? Because testing will become easier. If I take all elements 5, the sum is 5, I can understand it is giving correct value. Yes or no?
Yes.
If I take random value, then I have to I would, do it in my copy and see results are correct or not. But if I take the in values as 1, 2, 3, 4, I can very quickly understand this. That's the basic objective. So can you assign value to the two-dimensional array X? After doing this, I call this matrix R matrix row XY. X is address of element or address of one row?
One row.
One row.
One row, and the row is passed. Y is address of a row or address of one element?
First
one
element.
element.
First element. Understood this or not? So once we do this, your PA will be pointing to X. PB will be pointing to.
Y.
So wherever we write X, I can write down this as PA. Wherever we write Y, I can write down PB or not. So the function is called, if you look at the function is called, yes or no? Now this PD is storing the value in the matrix Y or not? In the array Y
Yes,
or not?
yes, sir. Yes.
And after storing it, if I want to display, I can display the value of Y over here. Have you understood this?
Yes.
Okay, you all should try to write down this function and try to understand how do I pass parameters. Understood? Write down one more question. One more question. Write a function. Write a function to find out sum of all elements present in a particular row. Write a function to find out sum of all elements in a particular row. So how many parameter you will pass? You will pass two parameter. You will pass two parameter. One of the parameter is row number.
Yes.
If row number is 5, it will find out the sum of all elements present in the row number 5. And first is basically a parameter pointing to the starting address of the whole matrix. Pointing to the starting address of
Whole matrix.
first row of the matrix. Okay? Pointing to first row of the matrix over here. Understood? This you will write a function. So this is same thing we have done it for addition, subtraction. So now one more program you write down. ये समझ में आया क्या क्वेश्चन दिया था? In a particular row. Understood it? Very good. Another question. Write another function to return the largest element present in a particular column. Write a function to return the largest element present in a particular column. Understood it? If the column number is 4 and the matrix size should at least be 4 cross 4. The matrix size don't take 2 cross 2, at least 4 cross 4. Okay. If the column number is 3, it will find out the largest element available in column number. And you need to write a function. The most important part of this is you need to write a function. You need to learn how do I pass parameter to a function. Understood or not? You need to pass parameters. So because in case, do remember one thing, in case of a two-dimensional array, pass address to a row. Understood? Pass address to a, if it is a one-dimensional array, pass address to an element. And then you can access it the way you access using bracket operators. Understood? Are yes or no?
Yes.
So this is all about your one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, pointer pointing to single integer, group of integers. Sometimes a pointer may also point to the whole two-dimensional array. आए कि नहीं समझ में? हाँ, यही करो. Online students, are you there?
Yes.
कोई
Sir.
doubt है?
No.
सानिध्य?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
प्रत्युष कुमार? कौन अर्घ्य और रोशनी? Do you have any
Sir.
doubt?
So that question before that null pointer slide.
वो null pointer, वो बाद में पढ़ाएंगे. Confusion नहीं करना चाहते. वो null pointer है. A pointer null means it is treated as false. Sometimes a pointer like zero initialization to an integer variable. Zero initialization to integer variable is same as null assigning to a pointer variable. And null is treated as false. Okay. So when a pointer is pointing to null means it is not pointing to any of the location of the main memory. It doesn't point to any of the location of the main memory. And it is a better practice for a pointer variable. Initialize is to null if you do not know which value it should be initialized. Otherwise, sometimes a pointer may point to some memory location which may update some data. Yes, same. Okay, the same as this.
Sir, can you show the slide before this one?
अरे वो तो नहीं, वो तुम्हारे लिए स्लाइड नहीं है, ठीक है, ये तुम्हारे लिए नहीं. So participant, so 4 o'clock you have a quiz test. The quiz test is for 15 minutes. It will appear in the Moodle. So open your computer and appear the quiz test in Moodle. Those students who have opted for offline